Yeah. Hi, Adam.
What's up?
Getting this thing back in the shop.
Really? Oh, yeah.
And toss it up. Off to the shop. Oh, it's a happy Saturday? I don't even know what day. I think it's Saturday. Waiting on bolts for the repo. And I thought they were going to land yesterday, but they did not. So, can't really do much there, and I can't get anything locally. So, what to do in the meantime? Boom. Play with control arms. So I've never used aero tubing before. I like it, but these are for the Enviate. Yeah, this is the front upper. What's it gonna be? No, it doesn't matter. It can be left or right. This one can be flipped. But yeah, you can see what it takes to get all this sorted and fit. It's a lot of work. And then the lowers are also pretty labor intensive. So I've got one upper left to make, so I'll make that. And then also, because aero tubing, you have to get pretty funky on the ends. So right now I just have them plug welded, but I'm gonna do an additional gusset from here to there, just to really help tie it in. And that's probably going to be done with leftover scraps, you know, something like this. Bloop. So I'll use leftover trimmings from all this, kind of connect the dots. And that way we're totally super strong on the inners as well as the outers. On previous control arms that I've always done, I've always just welded. Like these are the exact same fixtures, so it's the same fitment. These are Enviate control arms on this is repo, by the way. You can see I've always just welded the tube end, but you know, I've got a pretty darn good team, you know, the Enviate team, and one of them's Eric Streeter. So reached out to him. I'm like, well, you know, we can do this, but it doesn't have quite a tight fit around the tube end. So him and I kind of bounced back and forth. He's like, well, do some machine things. I'm like, well, that's fine, but it's gonna be $2,000 for something I could make in 20 minutes of work. And we just don't have that kind of budget. $2,000 can go towards something else. So we came up with a solution that should be good. Yeah, so probably tomorrow we'll get the Enviate back in here because, oh, first time in this series, there's only 2 cars in here. It's time to play, so we're gonna get the control arms on the Enviate and really start jamming out. Waiting on the gearbox from Albans. I have no ETA, no idea when they're gonna get that done. We put a deposit in a while ago, but with COVID in Australia, they had a massive lockdown. So hopefully we get it before like March. But even if not, we're gonna have to make it work because there's probably 3 months of work on the car anyway. So we'll get the whole front part of the car done that we can get done. We'll get all the carbon done. So really, it's probably not gonna hold us up a whole lot. But the idea is we get the gearbox, made it up. I have to build rear control arms, get all the carbon bolted on and turbo system and jam out. So anyway, so today, gonna try to mock this camera up so we can fabricate the last upper. So yeah, I don't know. For me, watching fabrication is what I do, but apparently you guys like to watch it. So step one's to get all these rod ends. So these were actually a frame plug I had made. They're not rod ends or tube end adapters, whatever you call them. I had these made for frame lugs for the Enviate, In this case, because we're using a massive 5/8 outer, this is just an old mock-up. We're actually using 5/8 bolts, but anyway, you can see there's a slight size difference. So we want to use the big guns on this. I don't have a lathe, but I just popped these in the drill press and drilled them out, and they're straight enough. So, do this, and then my jig. I should probably redo this jig in some form of permanence, but this goes all the way back to 2014. Got all my different holes labeled. Tell the guys if brake part's gonna goes anywhere near this, I'm gonna kill them. So, front upper. Where's it at? Did I already lose it? Oh, there we go. Enviate front upper. Boom. Pull it down. So this gives me all of the X, Y, and Z locations. So that way it'll actually fit in the chassis when I'm done. These are just some random tube ends that I use for fabrication, so I don't melt them. Alright, so I've got these tubes that are already, this one's already cut. I gotta replicate this angle. I'll just grab another one of these. Let's flip it over this time. So what I'm doing is, I mean, we have our profile here, but it's the wrong profile, but you can see what I'm trying to do. And then this tube, you can see the funky shape with where it's cut. If you overlay it, boom, it'll drop right in. So I'm going to transfer this to another one of these lengths, and yeah. Yesterday I had this thing down to where I could jam the lock, it would unspin the nut. One time I even had it fall in there, almost the right orientation too. I'll work on it. Maybe that'll be my TikTok career debut. Like a glove. And it might be a little bit long. So you can see it sticks past the nut. So I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch off this side. I don't want to extend the weld nut anymore because, yeah. Well, that's cutting. Look at this bad dog. This is Brian's work. So, full titanium. It's the front wing support of the Enviate. So this bolts the front of the chassis, and then the wing bolts to these mounts here and there. So this time around, we've added a lot of X's. X all the things. So, actually, the first one I didn't even back purge, but this time around we're back purging because this car is going to be lit. He's got to cut real slow. Great success. It goes there, and if we look at the other one, we're looking at this piece. So matches there. Now we have the fun task of let's see if I can figure an angle here. How about that? That's better. We'll do that. All right. So the objective is to squish this son of a bitch. Notice that wasn't a cuss word. Just squish it to try to capture the rod end at the leading edge of the aero tube. At least that's what I was doing on the rest of them. So. See, I could feel it slipping, but I was holding it. So then we'll flip it over, move these over here. do the same thing on this side. Try to get a squish. It's pretty tight wrap. As you can see, she's captured in there pretty nice. So before I weld, I have to go pre-drill, not pre-drill, yeah, pre-drill I guess, pre-drill the plugs. That way I can weld do some plug welds like that. The cool thing is this still comes out. Just need some love taps. There we go. Perfect. Didn't even squish the insert. Oh, and there's a certain mold that still isn't done. We have a lot of finish work to do on it. Can't mention, you know, what it is. Easy. Getting it back in can be fun. Now I'm going to weld 2 of the plug welds. Done like dinner. Blink. Alright. Get that back on. So the first one I did, I didn't tighten that down. I didn't do the plug weld and it shifted. It's not the end of the world. It'll still fit in the car, but the one is a little different. But lessons learned, hand-built cars, all that. So next, I cut that. We gotta get a longer wheel. Boom! Look at that. Drops in there. Nice gaps. Do a little bit of cleanup grind, and then we gotta do the flare treatment. That's the basics. Let that cool off, and then I'm gonna figure out one of these caps. So I'll film that next. I went and cut all those off. Kind of made a decision here. So weld it all around. And take this little chunk here. Swing. I'm gonna shorten it a little bit, but so do that. Weld around that. It'll eliminate stress points, spread loads out here, all the way out to behind. And yeah, so I'm gonna. We got how many of these to make before we got 8 of these to do. So, and I gotta weld it all. Yeah, hi Adam.
What's up?
Getting this thing back in the shop. Oh, that did pull it out sick. Yeah. And toss it up. Off to the shop.
1, 2, 3. Ooh, just barely kidding.
Such excite.
I was about to say, this is a nice sight we get to see. We haven't seen this in a while.